Hi guys, I'm Shmi. Hello, and good morning to you, and welcome already, believe it or not, to my first adventure, my first road trip of the year, getting started with the Focus RS today to head across the Eurotunnel over towards Germany. Now, 2 weeks ago, I drove home for Christmas, literally just in time for Christmas, in the AMG GTR, and I'll be taking that back out again very soon to attack the Autobahns, and in due course, when it opens, the Nürburgring. But today's journey is going to be in the Focus RS, and that's because I hadn't driven the car too much. I wanted to do a few more miles in it. No, I'm totally kidding. It's got a bootload of stuff. I'm going from my flat here in London back towards my flat in Frankfurt with some more things to take over there. But also today, given that this car, as I recently announced, is soon to be upgraded to the new limited Focus RS Red Edition, I'd like to talk more about why I'm buying another Ford Focus RS and also about the spec and plans for my Red Edition when it's here in due course. So stay tuned for that a little bit later on. Today though, let's get started in the Focus RS and get on the way. My nitrous blue Eco Beast then, it's sitting just shy of 12,000 miles at the moment, although by the time I get back from this trip, that'll be about 13,000 in the 18 months that I've owned it so far. Of course, running with the Mountune FPM 375 package, so the exhaust system, the upgrade to 375 horsepower, and I took it just last week to Poshwash to fit the Michelin winter tyres, because even though it's four-wheel drive, in Germany it's a legal requirement that if the weather is bad, you have winter tyres on your car. So the Michelin Pilot Alpines, you can see if I come around to the back how much stuff there is back here and why I am not taking a supercar today. We have boxes, suitcases, and the whole back seat is full of boxes and more bags, so just taking everything over really. Now the car's quite clean right now, but I'm expecting some pretty horrendous weather today where it will be filthy at the other end, but that's half the fun I think, although I don't think I'll ever top how dirty it was last year, if you remember the January trip I did then. So let us step into the car, fire it up quickly, and prepare to get set and on the road. And you might have noticed I'm wearing a t-shirt, which is quite unusual for me, but the new Shmi 150 merch store is finally coming soon, so watch this space. Anyway, time to hit the road and talk more about Focus RS and the Red Edition. Well, the journey so far has been very smooth and easy. In fact, one of the best drives I've had getting out of London. It's dry, which is a nice start, and there has been virtually no traffic. Now, to get to the Eurotunnel from where I live, you have to basically cross through the entire centre of the city, 30-mile-an-hour zones, 20-mile-an-hour zones, and if there is any level of traffic, it can be an absolute nightmare. But today, I've just flown straight out, and yeah, it's all very, very easy, which is a delight and makes this journey a little bit more pleasant. However, I'll add the caveat now that I'm not yet in Belgium, and from my past experience, journeys and road trips across Belgium tend to end in heavy traffic jams in tremendous downpours. So fingers crossed we don't have that today, but let's wait and see what happens. And I'm also quite proud of myself because the way I've packed the car, there's not too much luggage shaking around or rattling or making annoying noises, which can actually be a really irritating pain on a long journey. However, let's rewind and talk Focus RS. So this car I bought 18 months ago. Ford originally planned to make, I think it was 18,000 Focus RSs, of which 4,500 would come to the UK. So 25% of Focus RSs are here in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, which is a huge percentage. Normally with manufacturing terms, we would get 5 to 10% of a manufacturer's production run when it comes to a nice car like this. So to have that many just shows the strength of demand for hatchbacks, hot hatches, and this kind of car here. We have such small roads, countryside roads, city roads, they're all tiny, so you want small cars like this that are fun, have enough power, and you get in so much trouble if you drive stupidly fast that this has more than enough. Even a standard 350 horsepower, to be honest, is completely plenty. So the Focus RS, it has this trick all-wheel drive system. It's very, very clever. It has a 6-speed manual, which is something obviously we're losing a lot in the current era. One thing I don't like about the car is the interior. It's not exactly the classiest interior. It's a Ford Focus after all. Yes, it's a very jazzed up, top spec Ford Focus, but it is still that very plasticky, basic interior. A newer car, like the Red Edition, will have the updated sync, so the newer navigation system that this car has, which is quite nice, along with a host of other things that we'll talk about in a moment. But basically, I bought the car
as part of the excitement to me of being around Ford Performance, I drove one down to Le Mans to join Ford Performance when the GT was successful and victorious in Le Mans 2016. You'll probably know that I have a Ford GT allocation, which is due about 18 months from now, but I feel a connection. It's fun, it's exciting. They're an in-brand right now, the Mustang coming to Europe. Basically, everything going on just makes it a cool brand. Plus, this is an awesome car to drive. If you've seen my videos driving it up in Scotland, driving it around the Nürburgring with Misha from Apex, it has been so much fun that I don't want that journey to end, but I do quite like the idea of refreshing it and starting again. So here is where the Focus RS Edition comes in. Now, this car is nitrous blue, which was the signature, I suppose, colour of the Focus RS. You could have it in black, grey, silver, or white, or nitrous blue. So I obviously went nitrous blue. That was my preferred colour choice for the car at the time, when all of my cars were basically blue. Now I'm moving very much to a Skittles rainbow-esque garage with all of the cars in very bright and different colours. So they introduced the Focus RS Edition, which was 500 cars featuring the Quaife limited slip diff and some carbon fibre interior trim, but still in nitrous blue with a few exterior changes. Satin black on the spoiler, I believe, the roof, and some other small touches. So the edition came out, and I had an inkling there was going to be a red edition that would follow, so a brighter car that would come later on. That car has been released. There are going to be 300 of them, the Focus RS Red Edition. My number plate, SH13MEE, actually fits really quite tidily with that, because it's 1 in 300, as a commenter pointed out on Instagram, so that was quite cool. Shout out to that guy, thank you very much. So I'll be keeping the 13 number plate. The Red Edition comes in race red. It was originally launched in the US, but then they released it later on for the UK market as well. So I'm being overtaken by a truck. I'm going the speed limit, I will add. So race red is the colour choice. It has the carbon fibre interior trim, it has a gloss black roof and accents around the car. It has the Quaife limited slip diff, but basically the same 350 horsepower from the 2.3 litre EcoBoost, which can be upgraded again by Mountune. So it's quite likely I'll do the Mountune FPM, the Ford Performance by Mountune 375 horsepower package, which just gave the car a little bit more character, and obviously the exhaust noise, which, if I just blip it down a little bit, we get a couple of burbles, there we go, and some cracks, and you get those noises, which are all part of just having fun with this thing. So I might well do that again. I like the idea of doing some work on the interior, so I'm thinking, what about if we changed and took out some of this black plastic and replaced it with Alcantara, or some black and red interior to go with the red car? I think that would be quite cool. I'd like to put some carbon bits on the outside, so I kind of see the Red Edition as a bit of a project car. I've enjoyed this one so much that I don't want to not have a Focus RS in my life. I feel it's very much a different driving style to, you know, the GT8, for example, brutish, manual, aggressive sports car, but not that quick. The LT, electrical technology generation, brutally fast. The FF screaming V12. A hot hatch is a hot hatch, and they're so much fun to use all the time. I like having a practical car, a 5-door car, even if it's got bucket seats and a spoiler on the back. It's still significantly more practical than basically anything else I own, which is clearly quite important. So having a Focus RS or having a hot hatch is awesome fun. And I did think, what about a different car? But I like the idea of the Red Edition alongside the Ford GT in due course. I think that will be cool. Even if whatever happens down the line, I think it's quite a special car. It's potentially the last version of the Focus RS. I don't know if there'll be another one afterwards, but 300 of them makes it pretty rare and exclusive. And as I explained, there's this little, oh, there's a Cobra going past the other way. Very cool, blue and white stripes, nice combo. It's this British thing probably to have a Focus RS, even if the car might be a bit screamy and shouty for me. If you know me, the car is not necessarily right there in my character, but I very, very, very much enjoy driving it. And I think, you know, even on a trip like this, it's comfortable, whereas then you get to a track and it's also fun. So it's important to have a runabout car, for me, that I'll want to pick up the keys for, even if the keys for, say, the McLaren are next to it. You know, that kind of thing. And this has done that, so why not stick with what you know and what you like? So the Focus RS Red Edition it is going to be. Now, specification, they all come, guess what, in race red, so my car will be race red. I'll obviously keep it like that. You have a couple of options, I think 3 in total. One is to go from the standard 19-inch wheel, which comes by default on the race red in black, whereas it's only available in silver on the regular car. So you can have that as the base option, or you can upgrade to the forged wheel, which is lighter, that this car has. So I'll be taking the exact same wheel because I think they're really nice on this car, so I'll have those again. You get Ford's very trick door protector edge guards, the rubber pads on the side of the door that basically mean that if you open it into something, there's a soft impact rather than anything getting damaged, which I think is just genius, and every single car in the world should have them, but they will have those for sure. The third and final option is that you can have a sunroof, and I have chosen not to have a sunroof on my car because I don't really care for it, and it costs a load of money and it adds weight to the top of the car, so what's the point, right? And the car has a nice gloss black roof, so no sunroof for me. So that is my spec. It's going to be delivered, I guess, in a couple of months, maybe March, that sort of time. I'll let you know when I know more information. I've got an order, like a build slot allocation for it, but I don't have the full details. I was one of the early ones, I guess, because I put my name down for that car a long time ago, and it will come when it comes, and obviously the plan would be to trade this car in or to sell this car just in time, so I'll have to bring it back from Germany back to the UK to sell it just before the new one comes. So that's some logistics for me to work out down the line. But that is basically it. Focus RS Red Edition. I'm very much looking forward to it. I've been waiting for it for a long time. I like the idea of having my first red car and growing the colour combos of the garage. But we are approaching now the national speed limit sign, which means we can start to speed up, which is always quite nice. So we can drop some gears, get ready, and away we go. This car is ample noisy enough, ample quick enough. It's the noise that you get from the induction having the new intake as well with the mount unit. I'm definitely keen to do that exact setup again, for sure. But for now, I've rambled on an awful lot. Let's get to the Eurotunnel, get across to France, then see which way the nav wants to take me, through Belgium, maybe the Netherlands, and in towards Germany. All well and on time, and even the sky's turned a bit blue, the sun is poking through, but we shall board the train, and the next stop is onto the continent. It's quite rare for me to actually be in the regular carriage of the Eurotunnel. Normally I book the wide carriage for supercars to make sure I don't damage the wheels. Now the wheels in this car are quite large, but it's just obviously a bit smaller. It fits. These are the kind of cars that this thing was designed for. So we have to line up nice and tight. I will do as I'm told. Go forwards. There we go. First gear or park. First gear, park. Eurotunnel time, and if you know me, Burger King. I've just got out of the car to take a thumbnail. It is so windy here, I'm going to step straight back in. I'm sorry about that, and if I look a complete mess, oh, grab the door before it slams. Okay, not the best start to this, but let's get on the way. I desperately need a haircut. That's why this is going absolutely everywhere. I'm not going to be getting out of the car again in a hurry. There hasn't really been very much to report to you about this drive so far. For about 2 hours I've been on cruise control, a couple of construction zones, buses, trucks to overtake, but nothing very exciting, I'm not going to lie. Although a smooth and efficient drive through Belgium is just what the doctor ordered. I am not complaining about that one bit. One thing that's a little bit sad is that unfortunately the thing I was coming to film tomorrow, so I'm coming to Germany for 2 nights to film something before I fly off again, has just been cancelled on me, so I'm very sad about that. Hopefully we can postpone it, but if not, alas, it's outside of my control. Where I'm flying straight after that though is going to be awesome, and I'm very much looking forward to that, although I might have stayed in London and flown direct from London. I can't control these things. Sometimes it just happens. For now, all I can do is carry on the journey towards Brussels, which, well, I've got about 4 hours to go. It's already starting to get dark. I cannot wait for these winter months to end to get some longer summer days back, just to enjoy driving a little bit more. But it is what it is. We will get there, making good progress, taking some time off. Like I said, not really too much traffic or anything really to mention at this stage. I just had the obligatory traffic jam, and now we have the rainfall, and it looks like there's a lot of it falling very, very quickly. Fortunately, the traffic wasn't too bad. It was only about a 5 or 10 minute delay, and I'm waiting now about 100 kilometers until I get to Germany to fill up, have a break, then get started and continue the final part of the drive. But it's about, I think, from there another hour and a half, so it's not too bad. It's all going pretty reasonably well, to be honest. Welcome to Germany, welcome to the Autobahn, and welcome to a land of proper lane discipline. It is amazing. I've only been away for 2 weeks, but by far and away the thing that I've missed the most about being here in Germany is how everybody just tucks in and lets the faster car go through. I mean, we've got a little bit of traffic here, but I've got the car in sport mode right now and with the rear seats folded down. So what that basically means is there is less of an obstruction between the exhaust pipes at the back, my ears, and the microphone on the camera. So there is even more noise in here, which is just awesomely fun. It's such a good sound, and you get some really cool cracks out of this car. I mean, we've heard it plenty of times before. There we go. If I just give it a little spurt. Oh, there we go. We've got a couple. So hopefully I get a clear section in a moment. But it is amazing here how even in the dark, I've been going pretty quickly and other people have been overtaking me non-stop. And even the pace of the traffic just remains remarkably fast because the roads are smooth, they're gentle, there are no surprise bumps or corners, and if there are, that's where you have the restricted sections. But here we go, for example, blip the shift down and away we go. Empty stretch in front of me. I've got winter tyres on, so I'm slightly speed limited. Up towards the red line, 190, 200 on, and it's completely fine. Oh, this car is cool. It's amazing how a little hatchback like this can just chug along at 230 kilometers an hour or so. I'll back it off a little bit, just because it's dark, but it goes, I mean, I've not done a VMAX run in this car. Who would be interested in seeing one of those? Although I can't with the winter tyres. Maybe with the red edition in due course. But I think it would do a good 265, 270, at least indicated. We'll have to see in due course, but doing it with the McLaren was good fun. Needs really the conditions to be right though. Don't just go out and blast. But I think even now I'm looking at cars up ahead of me who are going as quick, if not quicker, which is just fun. Anyway. Bit of fun now we're back in Germany. It's about an hour or so to go to Frankfurt, and that will be that. And there we have it, back in at the garage in Frankfurt. So it's actually looking quite busy down here. Everybody's clearly back from their holidays. I'm going to park the car the wrong way round, which is very unusual for me, but given I've got an awful lot to unload, it would be very hard in my regular position. And my neighbour has actually been desperately unfriendly with his parking right now, so he is going to have his door fully blocked, I think. Left door to left door, which works very much in my favour, not his, unfortunately. Anyway, Focus RS, I've done a 10-hour drive with the car today, and that's basically why I like it so much and why I've gone for a second one, because it still entertains me even after a year, even with the other cars that I drive on a regular basis. It's still amazingly fun, it's practical, it's enjoyable, it does everything from a feature level point of view. It has stuff like the active city stop at the front that will stop you hitting into something, apparently. If you're going to drive into the back of a car at slow speeds in town, it will stop you. It has, you know, reversing camera, nice sound system, all the features that you want from the car. Plus it's an absolute blast to drive, and I imagine with the LSD that's in the edition you can actually retrofit that. It's even more fun, but obviously it comes as standard on the red. You can get a hydraulic like handbrakey funky thing from Ford Performance. There are some cool accessories as well, so I'll look into all of that, all of the different parts. But we're here, we're done. I'm going to wrap up this video. What an adventure. Let me know what you think I should do with the Focus RS Red Edition, but that's basically why I'm doing it again. And I think that car might be a bit more special, might stick around for a while, whereas this was bought basically on a whim, and somehow I've enjoyed it and managed to keep it this long. Anyway, thank you very much as always for watching, guys. Awesome stuff inbound very soon. Watch this space. I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers.